governments wanting to, regulate and control this sector. And with CBDCs, I think there is an interesting trend where they themselves are not yet 100% sure whether they will be deploying DLT or blockchain type technologies to implement their own digital currencies. In fact, when I speak to central bankers, many of them are quite, they're, I guess, quite skeptical about whether or not blockchain is definitely going to be used in these systems. And certainly when you look at the sort of developments going on in China, when you unpack it, it's basically a conventional ledger, not so much a DLT. What do you think about that? Do you think that is an indication that decentralized blockchain systems aren't always preferable for these sort of sovereign focused currencies or tokens?
Yeah,
This
I
is
think I
great.
think that
Question and great issue. Yeah, just very quickly. I think we should not mix the terms digital and decentralized. Yeah, if you're talking about central bank digital currency, I think he will be definite compromise on decentralization. Yes, and government will take and will offer the digital tool, digital form of money, whether it's digital ruble, whether it's digital yuan, whether it's digital euro. Yeah, just to penetrate this area and to offer the products that users can legitimately use for online transaction. Yeah, for something that we are trying to use crypto on daily basis. So they want to offer the functional tool. However, again, it will not be the same system as Bitcoin, for example, because of the because of its architecture. Yeah, and therefore, of course, here we will see this compromise on decentralization. We will not talk about these utopical ideas anymore if central banks will introduce their digital currencies. Thank you.
Salmaan, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I mean, just one quick observation. I mean, to me, the analogy of DeFi, and by the way, I think DeFi is super cool, just as an amateur kind of reader of this, but I think DeFi is like IoT, right? So IoT, Internet of Everything, is real, but in its extreme form is still an aspiration, right? It's kind of utopian. Are we on our way? Of course we are. DeFi represents kind of a future which, at this point is theoretical, right? If you take decentralization to its extreme, there's DeFi. So that's one observation. And by the way, that being the case doesn't mean that we don't move towards more decentralization as opposed to complete decentralization, right? Two very different concepts. And then the other thing I'd say is, much like the conventional world of modern finance, you have, and without getting into a political debate, you have the greenback, which has been the dominant form of currency, but there are multiple global currencies and standards for modern finance. And who's to say that there has to be Bitcoin or one other or two other, right? There's 10,000 today. Maybe we end up with 50 that end up driving global finance. Who knows, right?
Yurry, any
yeah
thoughts on DeFi as well?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right when you say that central banks are not clear yet and don't know yet whether or not their CBDCs will be decentralized or centralized. I don't really see it as an issue if it goes either way. It's all about which problem are you trying to solve, and I think there will always remain decentralized currencies like Bitcoin for those who want to don't trust their governments and don't their fiat currencies. So if they don't trust them, then we'll go to these kind of protocols. But I think what CBDC will bring, it will solve the problem of transaction online and making atomic swaps. And atomic swaps are really, really crucial. And atomic swaps is like I give you a digital file or whatever, and then immediately, without having to step out to the regular payment systems, I transfer my value towards it.